Welcome to the Women's Basketball Lounge podcast. Grab a drink, grab a cigar, or whatever else your festivities are, and let's go. Yo, welcome to the Women's Basketball Lounge, where we center the women who ball. My name is Mick Thomas.
I'm Mimi Green.
And we are your hosts. We're so excited. We are so fucking excited. I can't even contain how excited I am right now. Super excited to be with you and talk about basketball. So let's talk about, I think you guys are probably pretty curious about why did we want to do this show? So let's start there.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll go first. Man, I'll number one, why we started the show is I'm a huge trash talker. You know what I mean? And just love talking about the game everywhere I go, anywhere I go. When I'm going to eat wings, whatever. I'm that girl that, hey, why isn't the WNBA basketball on, or why isn't this women's NCAA basketball game on, right? And so just advocating. I'm one of the ones where, hey, fans need to advocating for the game everywhere I go. And literally talking with Mick, we really just I didn't see, I don't know if there's one out there, but a podcast that is for the fans about women's basketball, not just on the professional level, but college level, high school level, Olympics, any level. Where is we know that the statisticians and the first takes and all those, on the court. What's Cheryl Swoop's podcast?
Yeah, the Queens of the
Court. Yeah, I had a great
show
part
that I love, by the way.
Right, love. Shout
Swoop,
out to them, Cheryl and Jordan. We listen to y'all too. But just they're professionals, right? And they know the stats. But where's the tea, honey? Where's the excitement of talking about just the game from the fans' perspective and the love and the joy? And so, we wanted to bring that to a new audience.
Nice. Yeah, for me, same, right? I think for me, I am excited about the idea of women's basketball being talked about the same way that we hear people talk about men's ball. Mm-hmm. And in the same kind of informal setting, which I think is what you said, basically in so many words, but same, right? I'm excited about having the opportunity to just talk ball. There are a lot of new fans of women's basketball, and I love that.
Stay here. Stay with us.
I'm super grateful for that. And at the same time, because a lot of people are new to the sport and really just started paying attention, there's kind of a lot of misinformation and just a lot of ways that people are talking about the game right now that don't necessarily fit our voices, in my opinion. So
I said it. Tea, honey.
Yeah. For me, I'm really excited about just having the opportunity to bring our voices to the table. Like you said, I listen to Queens of the Court all the time and love that show. So this show is not a competitor to that at all. Mm-mm. I believe that there's room for many voices, and I'm excited about adding our voices to the conversation. So
yes,
So this show will talk about all levels of women's basketball, even though we know girls are not women. So when we start talking about kids, we know girls are not women. And at the same time, women's ball is an easy way to sum that up. But we're going to talk about the WNBA. We're going to talk about the NCAA, so college ball. We're going to also be talking about about high school ball. We're going to talk about national ball. So we'll be talking about the Olympics and maybe even some overseas teams. You know, we'll see how things go. Like whatever, everything women's ball, we're going to talk about it. If there are some amateur leagues where interesting things are happening, we're going to talk about that too.
Hit us up.
Essentially. Yeah. Essentially, we're going to be talking about the game and the women who are in it. And so without further ado, let's hop into it.
Let's go.
When did you fall in love with basketball? That's such a love in basketball moment. When did you fall in love with basketball?
Come on, Sanaa
I
Lathan, Kyla
hated
Pratt.
that movie.
Huh? Hold on.
I-
Time out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
So unpopular opinion. I just did not think it was a good movie based on the events of it. It didn't hit for me. Let's just say it did not hit for me the way it hit for some other
Ladies and
people.
gentlemen, Mick is a critic of film.
I'm
Not easy to impress with film. She didn't even like Bad Boys 3. I mean, how could you not, right?
Wait, I never said I didn't like Bad Boys 3. I said Bad Boys 3 was not well written, is what I said.
Okay.
But it's not that I didn't like it. I liked Bad Boys 3 a lot, actually. I thought it was a really good movie.
Okay.
But the writing in it was,
Okay.
not great.
I love Bad Boys 3 and I love loving basketball.
Both broadly good movies. Like, I know me not liking loving basketball is an unpopular opinion.
You know why I love loving basketball?
Why?
I'm gonna say why, and it goes into falling in love with basketball story. I mean, I related to Kyla Pratt so much growing up, in the sense of getting your hair combed, coming from outside, hooping with the guys, they ain't got to get their hair combed, you know what I mean? Or my mama trying to press my hair Sunday after I was Saturday night hooping with the boys. That experience, as well as just, hanging with the guys and having your first crush while you hoop, that was just...
I get it.
So,
I get it.
That's why loving basketball is, I think, most of basketball players' favorite movie because of relatability of what she went through, and exactly, like, literally they got the movie right in that sense of like everything a black girl has went through when it came to wanting to play the game. So that's why but it goes into, again, like I said, falling in love with basketball. Like, explaining that is, man, growing up in a small town, everybody knew everybody. So, you had to find something that you were good at. A lot of people, it was a sports town, and everybody was good at some sort of sport. And I really was trying to find my sport. I even did like tackle football with the boys, track, gymnastics, quit, hated it, couldn't do a splits for shit. But, I tried everything, right? I even did T-ball, struck out in T-ball, terrible. How do you strike out in T-ball? I don't know. My brothers and sisters make fun of me every day. But just with all of that, man, one day my aunt bought a basketball goal in her backyard, and we all played for Christmas one day, and 3-on-3 with your cousins in the back, and on some concrete.
3-on-3.
Come on with the 3-on-3. And my cousin, I had to be on the sorry team or whatever, and we were getting our butts whooped, right? And I just got mad. Because I still had that tomboy in me. I just didn't know what I was great at. And I just jumped up and blocked my little cousin's shot. And everybody was like, that. And I was like, y'all like that? Okay. Y'all like that? Okay, let's go. And that has carried me throughout my life and my career of basketball, as well as coaching, and everything I do in life is like, like when you go hard at something, like, you're rewarded. And the game of basketball taught me that, and more life lessons to come. And so that's what grabbed me, that excitement and wanting to impress others. But what keeps me
Yeah.
around is what the game has taught me through the years. And we can go on that on another episode, as well as relate to other guests we'll have on here, just about over the years, how it has kept me here, and the good thing about basketball and how it can change lives for women.
Yeah, I love that. It reminds me of when I fell in love with comedy and doing comedy,
Mm.
because it was
She's
really
great at comedy, by the way. Just saying. Look out.
I might, don't hype me up, because then their expectations will be way too high. But the first time I heard an audience like erupt in laughter at a joke or a bit that I did, there was something that was like, I need that feeling every
Mhm.
time. Like
Mhm.
I need that every single time.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter what type of comedy I'm doing, whether it's stand up or improv or sketch. Like I live for hearing the audience erupt in laughter, especially
Mm.
when it's like a slow build.
Mm.
It's amazing. So that said, I can identify with that feeling.
Mhm.
I fell in love with basketball via proxy, I think. I grew up with two older brothers,
Mhm.
and one of them was a very, very, very good basketball player. And I was that girl. I wanted to do everything my brothers did. I was, youngest,
Mhm.
only girls. My brothers were my heroes. My older brother is still my hero.
Mhm.
But like, I wanted to do everything they did. So, especially my brother, who, I'm referring to, we were 4 years apart. And so, whatever he did, I wanted to do. So if he played basketball, I wanted to play
Mhm.
basketball. So that's how I kind of got into actually like wanting to play. It didn't stick for me the way it stuck for him, I'll
Mhm.
say. I wasn't in love with playing basketball as much as I was with watching it and just being a part of the game.
Mhm.
But I definitely had a relationship with it on and off through school and, all of those things. But I realized, you know, as I got older, like it wasn't that for me. It was a lot more like I love watching it. I love the environment. I love the game itself. I do also love playing,
Mhm.
but not formally. Like,
I got a question real quick. What
yeah.
what do you say to some of our audience that is like, "Oh, you're not a true fan, or you don't know the game of basketball unless you've played the game of basketball at a high level or even in high
Hmm.
school." Like, what do you say to those people?
Yeah. I think that's factually false. I think we got a lot of people in the
Mhm.
world who will argue with that. I mean, that's not my situation. Like, I played on and off throughout my high school. I mean, throughout my school tenure.
Mhm.
But I think that's not necessarily the case. You don't have to be, that's like saying you don't know anything about, let me not say that, but
Oh, I'm curious.
I was gonna make a reference that was gonna get me in trouble.
Oh
I
man,
think
not on the first episode.
so, right. So let's say this. That's like a person saying you don't know anything about comedy. You don't know what's funny if you haven't performed comedy.
Mm.
It's factually not true,
Mhm.
right? Um, it's the same for basketball. If you haven't played, that doesn't mean you don't have a space here. That doesn't mean you don't have a place to talk about the game. If you now, I feel like if you don't take the time to understand how the game is played,
Mhm.
then yeah, there are some conversations that you should probably sit out of.
Right. I
But
mean, but I also think basketball is the easiest sport to understand. And I could be biased, I could be wrong. Besides track and field, right? Like basketball is probably one of the easiest sports to understand. Maybe volleyball, but basketball and volleyball, I think.
yeah, I also played volleyball off and on throughout my school tenure. Here's the thing, I'm old, and so don't get me wrong, I'm fly and old, but I'm old. And so I lean away from being like, yeah, I did this in school, I did that in school. Cause it's like, now I just sound like some old person trying to relive glory days. And that ain't it.
At
That ain't
all.
it for me.
At
You know what I'm
all.
saying? So for me, it's like, I respect the game a ton. And I don't think, like, for all our folk who are watching right now who is like, well, I never played, but you know, I watch it and I know the game. Like, I
Right.
know a good basketball player when I see one. You have a place at the table too, for sure. And what's happening? Let's start with WNBA standings.
Oh my gosh. Let's talk about it. First up, New York Liberty.
Yeah, New York is keeping that number one spot, which is pretty cool to see so far. I don't know, like, is it me or I love JJ? Okay, let me start here
Mm.
because I'm a big Aces fan. Aces gang all day. Gang gang Aces,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh and so I consider New York to be my arch nemesis. To be our arch nemesis,
Oh man.
right? But also I love the team New York. And so, you know, it's never that. It's always hard because it's like in some cases I root against them, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time I love their players.
Yeah.
And uh yeah, no, is it me or
And
is JJ looking different this year? Like,
I'll say this: she's shooting more.
yeah,
I think she's shooting way more this year, than last year. That that paint in the W getting tough. It's getting tougher and tougher every
agreed.
year, every year. But for me, the Liberty, just coming from a different perspective, um, I had picked the Aces to win in the finals last year. So I wasn't cheering on the Liberty, but I low key sometimes cheer on the Liberty, and
Yeah.
here's why. Because I was visiting a Final Four game, not this past year, but the year was in Dallas, LSU versus Iowa, and Becky Hammond was doing a segment, an interview, and she said she always cheers for the Liberty because, well, I don't even know if she used the word cheer, but basically when the Liberty does well, the W do well. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. Like we don't know what it is about when the Liberty does well, the W does well. And so the fact that the Liberty is doing well, like if you go back to every year that the Liberty has won, the numbers, the fans, all that stuff goes up. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So, but I know it's facts. It's literally a fact. And when she said that, it got me thinking. So I low key sometimes cheer on the Liberty, just like even if they're playing one of my favorite teams or a team I want to win or whatever, I low key cheer for them underneath just because I want the overall W to be successful. But
Yeah.
basically, J, you know, love JJ, but I think that that pain is getting nasty up in there, and sometimes you just be tired. You'll be tired of going home with scratches and bruises. She ain't want to post no picture like Asia Wilson did after playing Dallas. Asia looked like she got caught in a dog fight. You know what I'm saying? That
I
pain.
mean, Asia has been catching a lot of blows in the paint. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
on one hand, I get it, right? Like, because Asia gets fouled almost every time she goes to the basket. So if you
Right.
call it every time, that you don't really have a game. And at the same time, if I'm Asia, I'm like, call it every time. Like, as a
Yeah.
person who played the five, like,
Right.
call it every time, motherfucker. Like, what are you doing? You got to call that.
Oh man.
Um, so, like, I 100% get that. I think with the Liberty, I cheer for New York whenever they playing in the Eastern Conference, and
Yeah.
whenever they playing a team that's not Vegas, I cheer for them.
Oh,
I
I
root
get
for
it.
them.
So let's talk about these Suns. The Sun, excuse me.
AT looks different to me this year too. Like AT, and I'm not talking about her game. I'm talking about attitude. Like AT, this season looks like I'm here to win, period. Like, and I don't care who you are. She always was like a very physical player.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this year it's very much like, I'm going to run through your ass if, if you're in my way.
She coming to take the crown. The crown.
There's a hunger there with AT this year. So AT, I mean, I think Connecticut, although they are under New York in standings, I think, they might surprise us the second half of the season.
I mean, for me, it's no surprise. I mean, the Sun has always been good. They've always
For sure.
gotten at least to the final game. I mean, they've been short a couple times, in the past, not just once. And I felt had all the pieces to take it all. But, have fell short due to, the game. But I believe they are a contender for this final. I believe they are scary. I believe Dejanay has stepped up and is showing out, okay? Not on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, right?
Yes, Dejanay Carrington, fine ass. Hey, girl.
Wait, time out. She's taken, okay? We all saw the hug. We all saw the grab, the grab from the back, don't
let me. I'm just saying, Dejanay Carrington, fine ass.
She is claimed and stamped.
Absolutely. As we all saw.
Because, Smith ain't playing. She ain't playing with nobody. How many technical fouls she done had this year? She not playing.
Yeah, no, not enough gets said about DeWanna Bonner. I love me some DeWanna Bonner.
Man, I love DeWanna Bonner. She is a beast. It's like you watch her. I mean, like, you cannot stop when she gives you that look. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When she do that look.
What's the look again? Give it to me
look.
again.
When she do that, man, what you woke up the beast for?
Man, it's so crazy because
deserves Olympian, but she deserves it too. She deserves it too.
So many people deserve it though.
They do.
Like the NBA, it's only 12 teams in the league. It's not enough. I think the problem is it's not enough teams.
Yeah.
And because everybody is so good. That's why I say that. Everybody in the W is so good, even if their team is not doing great.
Which probably will make it harder for them to choose an Olympic team. You know what I mean?
You think so?
I think it will be harder.
Teams,
just
maybe.
like, the NBA right now, with the men's side, how did Jaylen Brown not get picked? But who do you take off? So I think that there's going to continue the next 4 years. Juju's going to be in the W, Yeah. Paige Bucker is going to be in the W, right? Like all these upcoming stars, Malaysia Fulwiley is going to be in the W.
A person I can't wait to see.
You know what I'm saying? So 2028, right? Olympics, it's going to be huge controversy when it comes to the W of who deserves those spots. Because the spots ain't decreasing, I mean, increasing. Yeah. They're not increasing. So, it's that set number, and that's what you got to go with. So it's getting tougher and tougher.
Good problem to have.
Good problem.
Definitely good problem to have.
Good problem.
So what's happening on the college front, the high school front?
Let's talk about this portal. Who is the biggest transfer right now? I got my pick. Who's the biggest transfer?
The biggest transfer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest and tell you I haven't been paying that close attention to the transfers yet.
Mm-hmm.
So who you got?
I'm not going to say she's the biggest transfer as in she's the best. I'm going to say she's the biggest transfer because she makes a lot of noise to the team from where the team she was with is coming from. LSU, Haley Van Lith. Biggest transfer. Come on.
Where did Haley go?
She broke social media. She coming to Texas, baby.
Oh,
she coming
wow.
to Texas. She not UT. She coming to TCU. TCU.
Haley took a lot of shit
Mm-hmm.
from that last LSU
Mm-hmm.
game she played.
Man,
I think she missed a
Clark
lot of
said, "Run up,
shots.
get done up."
She had a hard fucking job though. She had a very hard job.
Moki should have kept Flange on her, but we're not gonna. Let's stay on topic. Let's stay on
I
topic.
mean, we're gonna stay on topic. I love Kim Mulkey, by the way. Also, I love Flage, but yeah, she had a really tough job, but I feel like she got a bad rap a little bit just from that game. A
Oh
lot of
man.
people were yelling at their TVs.
Oh man, the game wasn't even finished. Like literally, I saw on my scroll on my feeds nothing but HLV can't guard Kate Clark or HLV this, HLV that, HLV this. I was like, the game wasn't even over yet, and everybody that matchup was just it was put out there. She was put on Front Street with that one. Everybody was watching. And
I think that says a lot about her. Like she was given a hard job. She stepped up to
Yeah.
the plate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, there's grown women right now in the W that are struggling to guard Caitlin Clark. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I seen her at the top of the key on time, drive to the right side, cross back over, driving to the free throw line, cross back over, and going up for a layup. Like it was definitely a code drill. Like, and the vet that was guarding her got crossed. But it was a tough job. But at the same time, I respect Haley Van Lith because, you know, she never complained about any assignment this past year. Being at LSU, you know, everybody saw she was trying to fit in with the chemistry, you know, with who they are on the court and off the court. And she did her best. She was a team player, and you got to respect that. But, you know, I will say I was sad that she left LSU because transferring again, I don't think was a good look for her career. Or her. I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something after the season's done, or if she get drafted, whatever. But right now, I just don't see TCU doing what LSU did for her career.
I definitely feel like there is a level of exposure at LSU that might be different at TCU. And this goes to a thought that I had. So I'm going to just ask you this question real quick. Would you rather, this is a would you rather question. Would you rather be the best player on a bad team or the worst player on the best team?
You know, I have experienced both. So this is coming from experience, right? My mom, when we moved to Austin, Texas, by the way, she couldn't find an all-black team. So she found not only a good team, so it happened to be all white girls on the team. And so I was the best player on that team, handling the point guard, typical black girl that's quick, right? And I played 40 minutes, everything. But my mom saw, you know, me kind of getting a little soft. So she wanted me to go play with some black girls. And when I went to go play with the black girls, I wasn't the best on the team. I wasn't the worst, but I wasn't the best. My minutes got cut and I didn't start. And so I've experienced both. And I'll say this, you know, I would rather be, I don't want to be the best on the team. Because there's somebody always outgrowing you and always doing more. So for me, always learning, right? Even the greatest people in whatever sport they've done, you know, have learned from somebody, right? Mentorship. And I truly believe in mentorship. So if you ask me which one would I rather pick, I want to be the sixth man coming off the bench. I want to be the little shark in the big pool. You know what I mean? Because one day I do want to be the big shark. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm in a growth phase, I'm not a GOAT, I'm not a vet, still got a lot of growing to do, aging to do, I want to be the little fish.
I mean, that's a good point.
Kate Martin right now is in glory. You know what I'm saying? She's in
Kate
glory.
Martin is in a great spot.
She with the big fishes. She the little fish. I wouldn't mind being Kate
Aces
Larkin.
gang gang.
Exactly. So, but yeah. So with that, I just back to Haley Van Lith. Yeah, she gonna be the limelight at TCU. She is the player. But for me, especially with her growing and wanting more growth, and she about to go into the W soon, like she should be challenged.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said for going to a place where you can shine. And that makes sense, right? Like sometimes you're in a play because LSU has so many good players.
Right.
And everybody's eyes are gonna be on Flagey this season for sure. And so, but even besides that, like I think there's opportunity. I think there's some good and bad in going to a place and like shining and showing what you can do in terms of making a team better.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, she already proved that with Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
She proved that.
I mean,
so why go back to your
But do people remember that? Do people remember that now after LSU?
I mean, a basketball fan does. I don't know if the average fan does.
Oh, come on.
You
man.
know,
like,
well, you say, do they remember that? I mean, I remember that. I remember her.
I remember that too. But what I'm saying is like, I think what matters is like, do the people that count remember that? For example, like, you're only, even in entertainment, you're only as good as your last project, right? So I can do something great today.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could do 7 great projects today.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow do one that's like mediocre.
So what
and
you
I'm
saying?
only in people's eyes a lot of times. Unfortunately, I'm only gonna be as good as the last thing I did.
So what you saying is Haley Van Lith's last project ain't what's up.
I'm saying now. What I'm saying is I don't think she was in the best position to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm her, I understand being like, I gotta go somewhere where people see me, because maybe the impression is that, you know, Kim Mulkey like prioritized in that situation, in that game against Iowa. I'm
Thinking at
in
home.
the W. right. In that game against Iowa, it could be argued that Kim prioritized what was best for Flagey, what was best for Angel Reese. Like she put them all in positions where they could shine. You know what I mean?
Now you just opened up some worms. I think you need to take a sip.
I did.
Yeah, go on, take a sip. Go on, take that sip. Ooh.
I'm thinking if I'm in Haley Van Lith's situation, and that's a person who loves everybody involved. Like Kim Mulkey, I fucking love you, girl, and your loud ass suits and attire. I fucking live for you. So it's not that. I'm just saying from her perspective. If I'm in her shoes, I'm like, she prioritized making sure they could shine. Knowing that Flagey was a better defender, she put Flagey in a situation where she could shoot, because defenders don't get the shine as often.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you know, she didn't want Flagey to get in foul trouble too. You know.
True.
So
I mean,
we don't know what happened. You know,
we don't. I ain't trying to open up no worms. I'm just saying from a perspective. I'm just saying from Haley's perspective. Like I understand. I'm not saying it was the right. I'm not even saying it was the right decision, right? Because I don't necessarily think that was the right move. I think the eyes are gonna be on LSU.
Yeah.
This year, still some eyes on South Carolina. I mean,
our eyes gonna be on LSU. Is Flagey a household name now? I mean, Angel Reese, we all know she's proven she's a household name, right? We can say that, right? You agree?
Isn't Flagey performing at something at the All-Star game?
It was at the ESPYs.
It was no, but she's performing something else for All-Star weekend. No, maybe I'm wrong about that. I could be wrong about that, but I think a lot of eyes are on Flagey. And a lot of eyes are on Kim Mulkey. And so by default, a lot of eyes are on LSU. I mean, personally, like, my eyes are locked on Malaysia for Wiley.
Yeah.
Like I want to see what she's gonna do this season. But that's why I'm saying though, I don't know if it was the right move. I think only time will tell.
Right.
But I think there's some advantage to paying attention to the where the eyes organically are. What do you think though? You think the eyes aren't gonna be on LSU this year?
Do I think will there be eyes? Yes. Love Flange. Think she is so talented. Love the SP's performance. Thought the outfits was dope. Love it. Love her new song with Lil Wayne. Shout out to them. Y'all go get that if y'all haven't. But basically, I don't think she's a household name to make LSU watch. LSU has to make others watch besides LSU fans, besides Louisiana, besides Texas, besides the South. Like, Angel Reese had everybody watching her. Caitlin Clark has everybody watching her from everywhere. But I do think Flange just has like a, she's a Southern girl, the South love her, but I don't think she's gonna make the Angel Reese wave or the Caitlin Clark wave. I don't think she's that popular just yet. Not to say she doesn't deserve it. You disagree?
I disagree. Yeah, I think she will, because I think she found it in other ways.
Oh, how many followers does she have on Instagram?
I'm not sure, but that to me, like I don't think you could compare it right now.
Right. Okay. That's I'm right? Talking about in the now, right?
Which I don't think is a fair comparison, right? Because when the season starts, I think you have to look at it by comparison once we get to the tournament. Because right now she's still in Angel Reese's shadow.
So maybe
in a lot of ways.
This is a discussion for finals next year. Hey,
I mean, we can circle back.
Household name.
Michaela Williams.
What about her?
Also an important person to watch.
Right. I'm just talking about, are they household names? No.
It's Angel. Well, yeah,
Angel Reese is a house. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on. She's
signed,
sealed, stamped.
By the way, Angel Reese looks fucking amazing. I knew she was gonna make a lot of people eat a lot of fucking words this year, and I'm so glad you did. Man. Do your thing. Go off, sis.
And I gotta say this. She's lost weight. She's skinnier than she was with LSU. It may be because she's quicker getting down the court.
I hadn't noticed.
She was not getting up and down that court like that at LSU. She getting
I hadn't noticed that.
She getting up and down that court. she looks 100. But what I'm saying, she a household name. Williams, Johnson, do I think they're household names? No. Do I think they're gonna be a household name like Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese? No. Do they have the potential? Yes, but I just don't. Like right now, I just don't see it. But I want them to prove me wrong. I hope Flange has a #1 album, in 2025 or 6, whatever. But I just don't think that they're yet because, there's multiple eyes everywhere. And South Carolina right now has a lot of people's eyes, and UConn.
For sure.
And USC. So there's the popularity is getting so tough, right? Like, because there's so many popular kids. There's so many popular student athletes that, there's more to the bunch.
I 100% get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you're trying to compare her to Caitlin Clark, because I'm about to say something unpopular right now.
Oh, Lord.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, their stardom is because of each other in a lot of ways.
Okay.
If there had not been the feud between them, I don't know if you have the stardom that you have now. Don't get me wrong. Both hell of a players, both stars in their own right.
Right.
But the explosion,
right.
I don't know if you have that without that moment. You know what I mean?
Like
without this moment,
like you
I don't know if you have that.
Like you said, the explosion of their popularity.
Yeah.
They were popular in their own net before each other. right? That's not what we saying, right? They were popular, but the explosion to where millions are tuning in, 1 point for like breaking chains to make others that don't watch women's basketball tune in was because of each other. Angel Reese was popular because, you know, she was she bought the streets of Baltimore on the court, on the NCAA court. You know, Caitlin Clark was popular because of her 3-point shooting. And committing to Iowa, like she was popular. Angel Reese, popular in Maryland, Baltimore, Louisiana. But once they did that to each other, the media fed off of it, and both of them blew up together.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, I don't think Flau'jae is necessarily like too far away from that. She just needs that moment to explode.
Yeah, we could be wrong. She might have exploded already. She just didn't have much time after that Camilla incident.
That's what I'm saying. That's a big part of it.
She might have exploded already. We'll see.
Saying that though.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of the reason I'm saying that, because part of why people are paying attention to her right now is that incident with Camila Cardoso. Like, and I'm going to take it a step further. It gave her some street cred on the rap game piece.
Wait a minute. So she didn't have street cred?
Oh, I'm not saying she didn't have it. I'm saying it gave her some street cred. Like, her brother jumping over that motherfucking barrier to get to his sister.
Her daddy already a G. You know, she was already on Jermaine Dupri's show. What is it? The hip hop show. The little kids.
Yeah.
It's not growing up hip hop, is something else. But Jermaine Dupri's show where she was a little kid, rhyming and spitting and stuff. That didn't give her no street cred. I
didn't even know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah, it came on TV.
No, what I'm saying is the same way like some rappers commit a crime, go to jail and shit. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I want her to do that, but when they do that, there's a lot of street cred that gets added.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, I think that incident already added a little bit of to whatever she already got going on. She was already a star. Don't get me wrong.
Ain't that crazy?
She was already a star.
People love drama.
People love drama. So I was actually going to make that same connection. Like, the same way, to a certain extent, Flau'jae and Camila Cardoso, like, their explosions are going to be tied to each other a little bit. Like, Camila Cardoso running down that court and sending Flau'jae
boosted her up too. Boosted her up too. I don't know how many. I wish I would know how many followers.
Put a rap album out,
man. Call me Big K.
Hey, they call me Big Miller.
Big C.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever it is. I'm just saying.
No, Lord.
I feel like she's also been a little quiet too. Granted, she spent some time off the court early in the season. But yeah, I feel like she's been a little quiet in Chicago. Not that she's not playing well, but just quiet.
But that's what Don said, right? Don said, Camilla's biggest struggle of what she's gonna have to come out of is coming out of her shell. That's all Don did was help her get out of her shell. And once she gets out of her shell and get out of her own way, she'll do great things. Like, I mean, when you make Camilla mad, she a whole different beast. She is a beast, but she's so nice and so loving. And, it goes back to dog mentality. Like, you gotta, as a player, you gotta put yourself in a mode before the game start. Like, you gotta take yourself to a place. And some athletes
I can imagine that was hard for her.
Right.
Like, English not being her first language.
Right.
And you know what I mean? There's probably she's probably spent a lot of time internal.
Right. And that's not to say she's not hungry, right?
Oh,
she
yeah,
hungry.
Sure. Not at all.
Right.
She's
but
super hungry.
There's a different Mamba mentality. There's a different dog mentality we're talking about. Like, you can be hungry, right? And want it and work hard at it. But then there's another level of dog mentality in any
Yeah.
sport. You know what I'm saying? Of
I think we saw the difference with her in the Asia Wilson matchup. We saw what could be, I think. Like, we saw that, like, I'm finding my footing against, I fucking got this. I'm a dog. I'm in this. I got this. And I think that matchup really highlighted that.
yeah, for sure. And you know, being so lanky, I think if she sprints that floor, you know what I mean, a little more,
Yeah.
like Asia do, you know,
Yeah.
throw it up, throw it up. Kenny Carter give you dimes, throw it up, sprint the floor, Camilla, sprint the floor, okay? Please sprint the floor. But she growing, and I think the injury, you know, learning a new game, you know, all this stuff, pressure, making it, you know, accomplishing your dream. You kind of need a moment to settle into your dream. You know,
For sure.
a lot of people be like, "Oh, I want my dream. Like, let's go. I want my goals." But once you get it, sometimes people don't know what to do with it. You know, sometimes people freeze, and that's a whole nother topic. But you know, that's why there is a such thing as rookie season, right? Like
Right.
to sit in it, get used to it.
Well, because it's one thing to get there, right? And that's in anything, right? It's one thing to get there. It's another thing to stay there. And I think, like, what we are seeing with a lot of the rookies is like them finding their foot, like they got there. Now they're finding their footing and figuring out how to stay there.
Even Caitlin Clark had to find her footing.
Oh,
you know?
hell yeah. The one exception is, I think, Angel Reese. I feel like Angel Reese came in and balled out. Not that she didn't have, you know, didn't have deficits or anything like that. But I feel like that's a perfect example of the right player going to the right team with the right coach at the right time. Like, when all the stars align, you get Angel Reese in Chicago playing for Teaspoon. Like, that's what that is.
And Dallas skipped over her. Poor Dallas. Poor Dallas.
Poor Dallas.
Poor Dallas.
But Dallas will be fine. Satu will be coming back.
Win, Satu. Win so I could be there. I want to be there. When you coming back? Oh
Dallas
my God.
is your team, no?
I mean, I live in Dallas. You know, love the Wings, cheer them on, but they're my baby that you just, you know, that kid, that troubled kid that you just can't get rid of. That's Dallas for me. You know what I mean? Because I just some of the, like, they've had so many close games within 5, within 9, within 10, within 2, double overtime with Phoenix, and they just wasn't able to pull through due to some decisions on the court, right? Like the team chemistry, like the players that they choose, like just the gelling. Like, I just don't feel like the front office at Dallas is picking the right people to play together, right? Not saying that the people are bad, but they just, Enrique want to push. You know what I'm saying?
Enrique's been balling all season.
Right. Like, who gonna push with Enrique? Like, who running the floor?
Odyssey.
Right?
Odyssey.
Can you
it was
give
a
me
bad decision to get rid of Odyssey.
why
but
do
they
we keep
corrected
giving
it.
Odyssey a contract and not giving her hardship, then giving her hardship, then kicking her out, not letting her return? Like, come on. She keeps saving you. When you gonna reward her, Dallas? Stop doing my girl dirty.
Saving you. Yeah, no, that's
doing
real.
my girl
she
dirty.
Keeps saving them. That's
She
real shit.
Dallas hasn't had a true point guard, and Odyssey keeps saving them not. You know, like, Dallas needs to make a statement. Say, hey, you know what, Odyssey, we apologize for our past, but we're going to choose you. We're going to choose you like a date, right?
We apologize for our past.
We apologize for our past mistakes, but we going to be better. And you going to be up, and we going to build around you and Enrique.
Enrique has needed the help all season, so I was really excited when they brought Odyssey back, even though it is just a hardship contract.
Because you know what? I feel like Odyssey, and this is very controversial, okay? Odyssey is the only one that can tell Enrique she wrong on the court. Tell Enrique
Interesting.
about herself. Who else gonna tell Enrique
Really?
about herself? Like, let's be honest. Good teams have an equal leadership balance when it comes to, yes, you have your leader, but you also have people that's not afraid to check your leader when your leader wrong. Like Asia, she's clearly the leader of the team, but Chelsea Gray not afraid to check her, right?
Yeah.
Like
And Chelsea Gray is the
Kelsey
one that
Plum,
does too.
yeah, Kelsey Plum's not. Hey, you need to step up, get your shit together. Who does that for Enrique with Dallas?
That's a good point. But does
So
Enrique need it?
everybody needed. Michael Jordan needed
I mean, theoretically, everybody needs it. But
Everybody
Enrique
needed it.
has been balling all season. From the top, she came out balling.
But she could be better with her shot selection. Or sometimes
True.
her attitude,
I do feel like
hey,
she rushed shots, yeah.
or hey, sometimes with her attitude, hey, she didn't get a good call. Who's over there telling her, hey, it's all right, let's go get the next one? There's nobody
Yeah.
If you look at Dallas play, right? They are scared to encourage Enrique or, tell Enrique, hey, like, let's slow the game down or let's speed up or come on, whatever. Like, I think because Enrique is such a household name and she doesn't have anybody else to play with her like a household name. Like Natasha Howard, she cool. She like everybody. She want everybody to be cool. That's her game. But she not going to get on Enrique. She not going to, hey, let's go. You know what I'm saying? She's just not that player. Satu not that player. She on the bench right now.
So let's talk about the Olympics. First of all, how are you feeling about the All-Star team playing against, or the non-Olympic All-Star team playing against the Olympians?
I'm glad I got a seat. We're going to be in the building, Mick. We're going to be in the building.
Same.
Hey, they got something to prove. Them All-Stars that didn't make the Olympic team have something to prove. Okay?
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be good for the W. It's going to be good for women's basketball in Phoenix. Let's go. First year Phoenix hosting, so they got to do it up and they got to outshine Vegas. I don't know how you going to outshine Vegas, but
Outshine Vegas? Now, why are we in it?
because it was hosted last year in Vegas.
You cannot.
So Phoenix.
No, I'm saying, why they gotta outshine? They don't have to outshine Vegas. No, you can't outshine Vegas.
Do it better than Vegas. Do it better.
Vegas be having pyrotechnics, all type of stuff. All type of stuff.
Whole
Vegas
basketball
goes
in the middle of downtown and stuff.
If it's one thing Vegas is gonna do, we gonna put on a show.
Right.
Like, period. But no, I'm really excited. I actually didn't realize that footprint was as large as it is. It's a really big place.
Really, I've never been there, so I'm excited to go there.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I also agree with you. I think it's a good thing. I think it is like super good for the Olympic team to I want them to do well because there's so much pressure on them to bring back a gold medal. And the overseas teams are getting really good.
Right.
Like, I mean, we are still, I think
Spain.
the U.S. still has, yeah, for sure. I think the U.S. still has like the top players in the world.
Yeah.
I believe that. But I mean, they're kind of training them up in other areas, like, and you can see it. You can see that they are constantly improving. And I wonder if that has something to do even with the pay of it. Like, it just feels like it's more of a priority in a lot of other countries than it is. Women's basketball is a lot more of a priority in some other countries than it is in the U.S.
Well, I mean, for me, that goes into a whole nother topic of, AAU and how, this is for men's basketball too, is like we got our high school kids playing too many games and not enough skill development. Too many basketball games, not enough teaching. You know what I mean? And
Agreed.
the people in Europe, they teach. They teach. They're all about skill. They're all about, you going to learn how to make a layup before you do a Euro step. In America, you might learn a Euro step before you know even how to work your left hand. You know what I mean? So that's all the difference. But do I feel like the gap is closing more on the men's side than the women's side right now? Yes. Because you don't really see too many international players going top 10 right now
Agreed.
in the W.
In
But
the
you
W,
definitely
yeah.
do, in the
In
NBA.
men's, hell
Yeah,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So right now, American girls, my American girls, y'all, if you see the men coming, the European men coming, international men coming, you better believe the women are coming too. So
Absolutely. It's
our
already happening. It's happening at a much lower, to your point, like
mhm,
at a much lower
pace.
speed, but that sounds about right for how the world thinks about women. Like it's going to be the men first.
Right, right.
Um, but yeah, I think there's so much pressure on them to bring home to another gold
Mhm.
that like I think the time for them to play together is a good idea. Like
Yeah,
um
I
even
just
though they not gonna be playing like that, like they not gonna be busting each other ass like that at All Star.
I think it's gonna be. I don't. They're not gonna be doing that, but I do believe you're gonna get a little snippet of this is who I am from
I think
each
that's
player.
fair.
From each player, you know.
But I think part of the reason you're gonna get that is because they not gonna be busting each other ass like that.
Right, right. But also Team USA, you know, the men they've been practicing, they've been playing. They had a whole schedule. The women don't have a whole schedule to play
Right.
together. So this one game, I think the coach is gonna use it just to, build some chemistry and figure out her matchups and figure out her lineups. You know, so I'm just excited to see that. Like I'm excited just to see those matchups and how they look. Just a fan of the game. Like I don't really care who wins, right? But I'm
Of
just
course,
excited
yeah.
to see the athletic abilities go
I
against
want
each
the
other.
Olympic team to win.
Why? Cause your Vegas team is
No, I
on,
mean I think a
yeah,
lot of my favorite players are on the Olympic team.
the four
I
Vegas
want the Olympic
players.
team to win. The Olympic team, don't do me. Yes, I am. Yes, it is Asia and Chelsea and Jackie and Kelsey for me. It is.
Hold on, and
Absolutely.
Jackie and Kelsey and Chelsea and Shaniqua.
Especially Jackie. Jackie is my favorite player in the league for a lot of different reasons.
Hmm.
But I think don't get me wrong, like yes, but also it's a veteran team,
Hmm.
and I just want to see them like show out a little bit,
Hmm.
even if it's at the expense of some of the younger players or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But they have all my favorite players, Diana Taurasi. Like they have all my favorite players on the team. Not all of them. Not all of them. Let me not say that, but the majority of them. So
Yeah.
I want to see them bust ass.
They the Olympic team for the reason. They the best of the best. So I
But I
just
also think they're not gonna be trying to get injured.
yeah,
So
of
you know what I
course.
mean?
Of
It's gonna
course.
be like they might let Caitlin Clark run a few circles.
Shoot, they all gonna be tired. Which goes into a question I wanted to ask you, right?
Yeah.
Which team is it gonna benefit most for this all-star for this Olympic break? Coming back to the W, coming
Hmm.
back, they this crunch time season, right? This go season,
Yeah.
right? The standings is shaping up when you come back. Who
Hmm.
which team is gonna benefit the most from this Olympic break? The resting,
I have
the
to give
being able
just
to.
one, or can I give two?
I'll give you two. I'll give you two. I'll give you two. I'll give you
I'm
two.
gonna take one, and then I'll have an honorable mention.
Oh,
How about
hold
that?
on. I'll give you two. Oh, you said you take one. Okay, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I'll take
Honorable.
one, but then I'll have an honorable
Okay,
mention.
let's go.
Okay, so the first is Indiana.
Hmm.
Like that's if I have to just pick one, I pick Indiana.
Why?
Just because I feel like the more time they get to jail together, the better they are. Like they're playing better and better.
Hmm.
Um, there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of shit. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from Indiana,
Hmm.
but I think like
Bias.
what I've seen of them, the more time that they have to like gel. And the more rest they get, the better they look. You know what I'm saying? So if I have to pick one, I say Indiana. I think Indiana's going to get the most benefit.
Okay. And honorable mention?
Get some of them bags from up under their eyes. Get some rest. You know what I mean? Like hit a 1-2.
1-2.
Sleep in a little bit one day. Like they need that.
And honorable mention?
Honorable mention is Chicago for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
And for a lot of the same reasons. But I think because Chicago also brought in a new coach, even though I was really excited to watch Teresa Weatherspoon this year. And it's been fun to watch her coach as I expected it to be. But I think Chicago brought in a new coach and new players. And I think if they can work out a few kinks, they are dangerous. You know what I mean? Like they can be dangerous. So that's my honorable mention.
Okay. I know I was talking stuff, but about my wings. But I'm gonna say this is gonna benefit the most for the wings. Why? You say benefit the most.
Back.
Benefit the most, right? Like this break is gonna benefit the most, right? Not meaning like standings, all that. Like right now, the Wings is sitting in 12th place, dead last, right? You go on Olympic break. Enrique is resting.
Not your reasoning is it's only up from here.
It's
only get better.
That's not. Hey, I asked the question.
That's the reasoning. Because it can't get worse.
It can't get worse. Who has the best? Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, your all-star. She's getting rest for the very first time. She's going to be the only, I think she was supposed to be on the Olympics, but she backed out herself. But she is an Olympian that's gonna be resting. That's gonna get more extra playing time with the Wings, right? Like Odyssey, she get the like Odyssey just jumped in. She's never even really had any practices with the Wings to even develop that chemistry.
But she played with them last year.
But you got them two new point guard, them two, the 2 point guards and stuff.
For sure.
JC, and everything. Just you got to keep having that chemistry. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep.
You might
building.
be right.
And you never know what the coach is running, the lineup, whatever. It might be different than last year. I don't know. But
for sure. No. Definitely credit to her. Like she came in, hit the ground running.
Right.
For sure.
So with that being said, right, like Odyssey getting some practices in, Enrique getting some rest, and then our bigs, they getting some rest, because it's hard on the body playing all these games back to back like that on their body, especially when they're bigger, right? Satu getting back healthy. Natasha Howard, she can rest because she's coming off of an injury as well. Satu coming back. Jaylen Brown coming back, off of her injury. So it's just like Dallas is a whole different team when we come back from the Olympics. You realize that?
Yeah,
they're
a lot
the
of pieces.
only. So
that's a good point. Like I hadn't thought about all those players returning.
Not it's going up from here.
Dallas was good last year. Like you know what I mean. I anticipated that they would be a huge threat this year. I thought that I never anticipated that they would be last. So, but I also fundamentally agree with your reasoning that it literally cannot get worse. It's only up from here.
That's not my reasoning. That's your reasoning. That's your reason. That is not my reasoning. But I mean, the biggest benefit of the Olympics, the Wings. So that let's talk about this NCAA offseason. Have you been looking at? The Instagrams,
a little bit,
the USCs and the UTs and the UConns and the South Carolinas.
I've been paying attention a lot to Baylor right now. Finding myself watching a lot of their kind of training vids and stuff like that. Who else? Is it Alabama that comes up a lot for me? Definitely Baylor, but Alabama as well. But yeah. A little bit, not too much.
I'll say this. On Fridays, Dawn Staley has the Final Four Fridays workout. Final Four Fridays. She already putting it in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
We not accepting nothing else but Final Four.
That's
They
it.
already working out. It's July. It's
Yeah.
July. She got it up. She got Tampa. It's like she got Tampa on the big screen when they working out in the weight room. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say to all the NCAA schools
Oh,
out there. She got Tampa already on the TV,
ready already.
ready. You know what I'm saying?
Dawn Staley is definitely coming for another one.
You
Cause she did this. Here's a piece that I feel like people keep forgetting. She did it once, except for one game. The one game that she fucking like, she already did it once, like, and then she did it again and did it perfectly with the whole new squad.
and she got some freshmen. That's some dogs. Ooh-wee.
She always got dogs. All she make is dogs. All her kids dogs.
She got
all
South Carolina to create a major for this girl.
Just so
South Carolina didn't even have the girl
They didn't even have
major.
it. She done went and knocked on some doors.
Look, hey, if that ain't pimping, if that ain't pimping,
That's what I'm saying. Dawn Staley is well connected. You can't do shit with a person who's well connected.
hey, I need you. You an engineer? You a lawyer? I need you to come teach this class for my basketball kids so they can come.
Man. She know people who know people who know people. Shout out to JT. But yeah, like Dawn Staley is well fucking connected.
Hey.
So I don't know. Like I think that's what people keep forgetting. She is who the fuck wanted with Dawn Staley right now? But I'm hoping, I want to see her have some competition. I want her to get
she
as
will
many
have
of
competition.
these as she gonna have. But
Gino coming
I
back
hope
with
that
a
some people
vengeance.
looking at her like, whenever you at the top, somebody coming for your head
Oh.
for sure.
The legend Gino is coming. He's coming.
Fair.
Trust me.
Fair.
He itching for. He has many. Yeah, Gino's coming for her. So and then also USC, them Trojans. They got somebody that's grabbing rim, dunking in the summer. So
Yeah.
NCAA has a lot going on next year. They're gonna have a lot going on. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Yeah, I'm super excited to watch all those teams.
And speaking of, what a lot of people don't know, man, we got a senior class, high school senior class for the following year coming in. Man, you got girls like Aaliyah Chavez, #1 recruit. Girl,
Dope shit.
I think the girl could play in the W right now. Like that might be a
If
stretch,
she wanted to.
but man,
It's not a far stretch, huh?
the girl had 57 points in a single game, more points than the opponents. She pulling out I'm not Cheryl Swoops. She pulling out Cheryl Miller stats, right? Like not 100 points, but you know, in this new day and age, she
yeah, for
outscoring
sure.
the whole team by herself.
But it's also because Cheryl Miller was Cheryl Miller back when you couldn't, like, everything was
3-point
2-pointers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing too, though. Like, that makes fucking Cheryl amazing.
Amazing. And I met her and she is amazing and very friendly too. So yeah. But
Nice.
I mean, Aaliyah Chavez, #1 recruit. I mean, I was looking at Boo Williams has enough 5-star recruit. Shout out to Boo Williams. Nyla Brooks. She's got an offer everywhere. She actually accepted an offer from Tennessee, but then came back and said she gonna leave her options open. So she got an offer from everywhere. She got an offer from Arizona, Tennessee, Georgetown, Pittsburgh, Mississippi State. Like she got an offer from everywhere. So I'm definitely I think she might be going to Arizona with Coach Barnes, but that's gonna be another key recruit, as well
True.
as there's just a ton of girls in the circuit right now in the Nike EYBL circuit. Like all the coaches, all the college coaches, you got Kim Mulkey flying her butt all the way across the country to go see these girls, and you got college coaches like this tuned in.
Yeah,
Usually they'll
locked
be,
in.
tuned, like usually they'll like walk around, go see this game, go see that game. You got college coaches watching a full game, tuned in, like
That's insane.
at these Nike EYBL. So
Yeah.
man, this wave is phenomenal. I'm excited. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm excited.
No. You're good. It's a good time for like women and girls basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the talent we have at the girls level just kind of let us know that it's only going to get more insane from here.
Right. And you know what? And this goes into, a question we had about like, why is it important to watch women's basketball?
Mhm.
It is important, like the documentary on Amazon, right?
Yeah. I still haven't watched it.
Oh my gosh. Not
I
oh my
know.
gosh to
I keep
you, but
fucking
oh my
waiting.
gosh, that is so good.
It's good. Yeah.
shows
I
you
heard
the-
it's really good.
It shows you the impact that women's basketball can make
Yeah.
for this country,
Mhm.
for a city, for a state, for a country. This game, just as much as the men game,
Yeah.
can
If not
impact
more.
this country. Women,
If not more.
if not more, right? And so why watch women's basketball is because this game has so much to, I believe, in my bones
Mhm.
and body, and this is going deep, that this game has so much to give to the world, to America, to little girls. Like this game, the women's basketball teaches so many lessons, and you can learn from it. And I'm not saying you can't learn from men. It's just like,
Yeah.
we play the game right. I'm sorry, men. We play the game right. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean.
We didn't, up to a couple years ago, we didn't do it for the money.
Right?
We not doing it for the money.
Let's keep it real. We're still not doing it for the money.
We're doing it for the passion. We're doing it for
Yeah.
the love of the game. Let's be honest. The men, some of them doing it for the money. Some of them might be passionate, but some of them, they doing it to get a check.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I
I get
mean?
what you mean.
But why watch women's basketball? Because it's still at its baby stages. It's still at its genuine stage. And right now it's on the tip of greatness.
Mm-hmm. You know, Kelsey Plum said something recently that really stood out to me. She was talking about, like, maybe it wasn't actually recently. I was watching Kevin Hart's his show that he has on YouTube. It's called like Cold as Balls, and he had an interview with Kelsey Plum.
Okay.
And so I was watching it, and she said something like he was saying like something about we should, or men should support women's ball more, or something like that. He said, men should support women's ball more, or something like that. And she's like, I want you to watch because you like watching me play, not because you want to support me, or because
I remember
like
that.
I want you to watch because you like watching me play. And I think like when we think about why it's important to watch women's ball, I think to your point, like I enjoy it because it's true ball. It's the fundamentals. It is going back to, the very basics of things, and everybody is hungry. I'm glad to see more people join the game. I hope, or join the conversation about the game. And I hope that people like take the time to, there's a lot of speaking before you think happening right now, or a lot of speaking before you know about stuff right now. But I think
you're right. I'm sorry. You just gave me a moment. I was sitting at a bar in San Antonio, and literally I'm watching Indiana play. I forgot who they were playing. And this guy was talking to his wife, and he was like, yeah, if no one watches the WNBA, they only watch because of Caitlin Clark. I just was like, I wanted to. So you saying that just irked the
Yeah,
nerve of mine.
there is a whole lot of that going around, and I hope that some of that chills out. And I hope that older fans, not older fans, but longer fans can be patient while it happens. But yeah, so I'm excited about All-Star Weekend. We're both going to be there
Yes, turn up, turn up.
in Phoenix.
Yes,
So if you see us, say hi to us.
right.
Yeah, because we will be around.
So speaking of All Star, who's getting MVP? You said, oh, the Team USA is gonna win. So that's what you said. So we're gonna go off of that. So
Yeah,
who's getting MVP?
Asia Wilson.
All right, you heard it here
Asia
first.
Wilson. Asian will. I said Asian
Yeah,
Wilson.
he's
Asian Wilson. No, Asia. Asia Wilson MVP everything at this point. What do you think?
You know, I think she's gonna want to rest.
Oh, you don't think she's gonna play much?
I don't think so. I think she's gonna rest, because she needs to bring home that gold.
Yeah.
She gonna be getting a lot of minutes. I mean, she getting a lot of minutes with Vegas, right? Like, I think, like, the coach is gonna give her some minutes, but I don't think she's gonna get much. So I don't think she's gonna be MVP. I think, this is very controversial, but I think Copper is gonna get MVP. Phoenix. She in Phoenix. Hometown favorite. She
Okay.
athletic. She got a lot of energy. She gonna want some minutes to make a name for herself. MVP.
Okay.
She already scoring 20 plus, So
I mean, that makes sense.
Copper give
I can see it.
dimes. We'll see. My pick is Copper. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, my pick is Wilson.
All right.
And we're gonna see how it shakes out.
3-point contest.
Who do you think is gonna win the game?
Oh, Olympians, Team USA, hands down. So yeah, your pick is Asia for MVP. My pick is Copper from Phoenix. So we will definitely get a recap after we go see it.
We're gonna
next
see
week.
what it is.
We're gonna see what it is.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited. I'm gonna try to sneak in somewhere. Y'all post something. NBA, WNBA players. Y'all post something. Because I'm going to be sneaking in. Hey, can I get a picture? Go take a
Post
picture with me.
something for sure.
You know who was so sweet to me? Kristen Bell and Chelsea Gray took a picture with me at Dre's last year for All-Star. And everybody was taking pictures. Like, nobody really, you could tell they didn't want to be known, right? Like, they trying to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was the first one to recognize them. Like, nobody else recognized them. And I was like, hey, can I get a picture? Hey, can I get a picture? And they were like, sure, no problem. And then everybody swarmed them or whatever. And they was good spirits about it, but you could tell they really just wanted privacy.
Yeah.
But just even in a club, like, just, they're professionals. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a TikTok where a lot of Team USA men's basketball players was leaving the gym and fans was waiting outside. And the only player out of all the players to stop and give autographs was Steph Curry. Like, you are a professional. You are an entertainer. Like, the fact that you did that in a club setting where you want to have fun, where you just want to blow some steam off, whatever, and you did that. Like, shout out to Chelsea Gray, Kristen Bell, KB. I appreciate y'all for doing that. Like, that made my night because that was like my birthday night. I was celebrating. I was with you.
Right. I'm like waiting on you to be like,
I was with you.
yeah.
I forgot
I'm
who I
pretty
was
sure
with.
I'm
Look,
the
I was
one that
fan.
asked, who did I ask for? I'm the one that asked Chelsea Gray for the picture.
I
still got that picture in my phone.
Yes.
I was just letting you remember it however you remember it. Like, okay. That was a great night. And they were all so nice and so cool.
Speaking of last year, like, tell me about your experience last year for those that are going to All Star, and we'll kind of end on this, that are going to All Star this year for the first time. Like, what did you experience last year? That's a possibility for them to experience this year. Like, give me some tea on WNBA All Star for first timers.
Do I have tea?
Not
As
tea,
much
but
as
just
yeah,
you know.
yeah, no. Honestly, I would say don't skip out on the like convention events, like the convention center part of it, like the actual interviews and stuff like that. Don't skip that part, because one of my favorite things was grabbing some merch from Player Society. I really love Player Society.
The Jordan brand shop. Me and
Yep.
you, we went crazy.
Yeah, and Jordan had a pop-up, and we bought Jordans.
They was
and
doing 3-on-3
t-shirts.
hoops with high school students in
Yep,
there.
there was 3-on-3 hoops happening in there. So I would say, a lot of the focus ends up being on the game, not even so much the skills challenge, which is honestly my favorite piece of it. But a lot of the focus ends up being on the game. But I would say make sure you go to those other events and stuff too, because there's so much to see and so much to experience. And, we got to really like see players passing through and just all kind of exhibits and stuff like that. So I would say that. And then go out and have a good time. That's my suggestion. Go to the right place afterwards. Whatever the fuck that means.
I'm gonna say this,
But having our section
Yeah.
was next to theirs was phenomenal.
Yeah.
In Dre's. Yeah.
and we're not gonna say what R&B single was in the section, are we?
We can't. Everybody knows. Well, is that T? I don't want to. That might be T. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should leave that out. We should leave that out. We should leave that out because we don't know. We might be telling her business.
Oh, you know what? If y'all want us to say the tea in the business, follow us, inbox us, let us know. We'll talk about it.
Let us know. Okay, if y'all want to know.
Next episode.
So last year we were in a section right next to
some people.
A section where there were lots of people. If you would like to know, including basketball players,
Yes.
WNBA players, well, specifically one team, but maybe. But anyway,
now you revealing stuff.
I'm not, but at any rate, if you want to know who was in that section, do what Mimi said. Follow us, like our page, message us. No, don't DM us. Put it on our page. Comment on our stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we might, go ahead and give the tea.
We might. Yeah. But I don't know. That might be somebody's business.
Hey, they entertainers.
Yeah, I mean, it was in a public place, but it's still like that. Might be
the lights was out.
The lights was out.
We wasn't supposed to see. Oh man, but I would say for fans that are going to All-Star game for the first time, keep your head on the swivel. You never know who is sitting next to you or who is walking by you in the hallways of the arena. Like, you never know who you walking out on the street on. Like, I was at Final Four and walking on the same street as Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray. And I was like, oh, they was getting they lift to head what they need to head. Like, you just never know. Like, learn the players and you'll never know who you'll meet, and just get a good experience. Like, go to, like she said, go to the convention center. Like, go learn the history. Yeah, so that's what to look out for WNBA All-Star. If you're not going, watch the game. Turn the TV on. If you're not watching it, just turn it on anyway. Run your electricity. Just have it on. But that is our show. Yay! First episode.
Yay! First episode down.
First episode down. We thank y'all for tuning in, and we thank y'all for listening and getting through our whole show. with us. We hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels and social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, all the above social media. So please follow
Twitter.
us, like us, all those things. Comment on our pages. Let us know what any topics you want to discuss or want us to discuss, all those things. We'll be having a couple guests on throughout the season as we go into more episodes. But we appreciate you. We thank you. Mimi out.
Mick out. That was perfect.